I think COVID did something to us that we're still unpacking. I believe that we all moved on, but never really got back to feeling how we used to. And I don't think that's just me. Can we talk about it? Hello, my lovely people. Welcome back to another episode of 10-Minute Spiel with Alyssa. Today, we're talking about how COVID affected us, and by us, I mean Gen Z, as a society, as a generation, and how we became very lonesome. The first thing I want to talk about is how it stole our years away from us. Whenever COVID started for me, I was in middle school and I was still trying to figure out life. I don't think we ever stopped trying to figure out life, but at adolescence, it is hard whenever you are surrounded by people that you think you trust, people that you want to tell everything to, and then you're hit with an epidemic. And it truly ruins your world. For me, it was my prime social skill years where I was trying to talk to as many people as I could and trying to become friends with everyone because I am such a social person. Even in middle school, I was a very social person, and I think I've definitely grown since then. But we missed the low stakes of daily practice of having the social skills to people around us physically and in front of us. We missed having that genuine connection because COVID made us go online. COVID absolutely changed our world. It changed me as a person. I think it changed a lot of people in their way of thinking and how they went about their day to day lives. Now, COVID shows up as a social anxiety, as overthinking, as not knowing exactly where to start. I have found so many times now, as being a high school graduate, that even my social skills sometimes feel like it's bare minimum. I have had so much social anxiety ever since COVID hit. During COVID, I was cooped up in my room making TikToks, making what was Musically still around? I don't even know. I don't remember. COVID COVID for me made me realize how chronically online I am now. It made me so addicted to social media and constantly conversating with other people online and using Snapchat more than a middle schooler should, using their phone than a kid should. The second thing I want to talk about is how some people did get comfortable being alone. I don't think it ever made me comfortable, but for other people, isolation, it made us think that being alone was normal and safe. It made us confined and put boundaries and walls up to where we just can't trust people as much as we think we can. We lost tolerance for discomfort of putting ourselves out there. Losing the fear of putting ourselves online kind of vanished. And it made us change. We would put a persona up online of ourselves where we weren't really ourselves. We were basically catfishing millions. And granted, I definitely didn't have millions of people following me or millions of views, but I had these friends who saw me as a different person online. And whenever I would meet up with them in person, I was less social. I couldn't put myself out there as much as I wanted to versus how I did online. Loneliness became a habit. It wasn't just a feeling. Loneliness made me feel comforted. It made me feel like I didn't have to necessarily grow with other people socially. Post COVID was so extremely hard trying to rediscover myself and figure out just who exactly I was regarding the things I enjoyed and the hobbies I like doing outside of just my house and scrolling on social media. It was very hard to find genuine friends. The third thing I want to talk about is that online replacement didn't really work. I kind of already briefly covered this, but I coped being locked up in my room with scrolling on TikTok for hours on end, making random dance videos, posting them, and then taking it right down. I coped with gaming with my friends on Discord. I made so many connections online, but it just wasn't the same as it is in person. Like I said so many times already this episode, it changes you as a person. It's insane what online friendships and relationships can do to you versus a, you know, a physical in-person setting. The digital connection was not real presence. We, as a generation, as a society, as a whole, the world, we all put ourselves into this bubble where we protected ourselves and we put a persona of us online to where only certain people can see how we actually are online versus in person. There have been so many people that I've met that are so different than who I thought they were. COVID, you messed us up bad, dude. You messed us up as a generation. So, another thing from that is we were so hyperly connected to all the people we were meeting online and whatnot, but we were never truly known as a person. We, once again, created this version of ourselves that we wanted to be true, that we only wanted the digital world to see versus who we actually were as people. We couldn't see how someone talked to their parents in person. We couldn't see how someone actually enjoyed that dish. We were so hyperly connected. We didn't know anyone. We thought we knew people, but we really didn't. Like, that's just mind boggling. Like, once again, there were so many people that I met and so many people that I enjoyed talking to online and playing games with and staying on FaceTime for 3 days. And then when we hung out in person or when I talked to them, I didn't know who the heck they were. Once again, COVID, you messed us up. Like, girl, what are you trying to do? You predicted the downfall, didn't you? We feel as a generation that there is pressure to make up for lost time, meaning there's an unspoken presence and expectation that we should be fine now. But that is just not the case. I can't even stress enough how many times I have felt like I've been put up on this pedestal because of how I act now and how mature I've gotten for my age. because of COVID, it made me change my mindset and change who I was as a person and change how I view other people. And it's so frustrating because everyone's just like, "Oh, we should be fine now. Like, it's fine. COVID's in the past." That was 6, 7 years ago. And I'm just like, "No. We cannot just accept our fate as a generation, as a society, as a whole, that we are okay, that we are fine. I'm fine." That is such a lie. Girl, stop lying to yourself. We are not okay. And that's okay to admit. COVID messed us up. It messed with our mental way of thinking. And granted, I haven't fully looked into it. There have been so many studies where mental illnesses have increased since COVID because it messed with our way of thinking. Guys, we have to genuinely think about this. COVID messed us up, and we don't know how to come back from it. The second layer of shame is that we are feeling lonely, but it's also feeling like we're the only one, which once again is not true. There are so many people out in the world now that are offering help. They're your friends, your family, your dog, your cat, your bunny, your bearded dragon. There are so many ways and people and things, and there's just so much that can now help us that we didn't have pre COVID. Because of COVID, we have built ourselves up and changed our way of thinking. Here's the truth: most of us didn't bounce back. We're just not saying it. It's okay to admit that COVID really effed with us. It's okay to admit that you gained in mental illness because of COVID. It's okay to say that you are lonely because COVID made us lonely. There are so many people nowadays, including me, where I feel like I have to seclude myself from society because that's just what we did. That's what we knew during COVID. We cannot keep living like this. We need to express how we feel, how we think. We cannot just keep saying that, "Oh, COVID's over. It's been 7 years." Girl, it doesn't matter. Trauma's trauma. COVID is trauma. And don't tell me that it isn't. One way that we can fix how we were broken from COVID is reclaiming those third spaces. And by third spaces, I mean cafes, going to a recreational center where you can go play sports with friends, going to the library. Guys, I went to the library for the first time in like years, like 2 days ago, to go study with two of my really good friends. I have never locked in more. We need to stop taking our third spaces for granted. And yes, because of COVID and because of tariffs and all this stuff that's playing in our world now, everything's a little bit more expensive. I'm not gonna lie with y'all. Like, it's so expensive out here. Tell me why a latte is almost $10. Gagged. I'm literally gagged. I love to go to a cafe though. I love to go in there, get my headspace right, study. I'm doing summer school. Study and find yourself again. Regain the person that you weren't once were. Be the person who reaches out. I felt like my last year of high school, I stopped reaching out to people because I felt like, oh, well, they're not reaching out to me, so it doesn't feel fair if I'm constantly the only person that's reaching out. And granted, that's very valid, but for those friends that you do have who actually genuinely want to hang out, girl, you just need to text them. We live in 2026. Who gives a flying F if you send a text asking to hang out? Literally, there is no reason for us to hold back from wanting to say something or wanting to do something. Everyone is waiting. And like I said in my last video, life does not wait for you. Life does not wait for you, sweetie. No one waits for anyone. And I will always stand by that. If you want something, you have to make it happen. If you want to do something, you have to put your best foot forward and do it. Me with this podcast, I kid you not, I was watching, shout out Tanner. I was watching Tangent with Tanner, and I have never felt more connected to a podcast in my life. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start one too. Because I feel like some of the things I have to say, I feel like some people should hear it. I feel like the world should know. I love to give advice. And I think, what better way to do it than a podcast? There's no other way to put yourself out there online than a podcast talking about how you feel and giving advice to other people that you have no idea what is going on in their world. But it's one of the best feelings ever because I feel like I'm reconnecting with people. I feel like I'm the one that's reaching out. I'm not waiting on anyone anymore. I'm going to put my best foot forward once again and reach out. There is no reason you shouldn't reach out. If you want to hang out with someone, there should be no reason as to why you don't text them. I get it if you're busy, if stuff's going on in your life and whatnot, send a simple text, call them, leave them a voicemail, FaceTime them. There are so many ways to connect with people and reach out now. There's no reason you shouldn't reach out. Like I said, everyone is waiting. I need to wrap this video up. We have to lower our stakes. We feel like as a generation that every single time we hang out with someone or every single time we're trying to get into a relationship, it has to be so deep and so mentally changing and change our way of thinking, changes us as a person. I don't think every single conversation has to be that deep. If you have an opinion about something, don't get me wrong. You can talk about it as much as you want. You can yap my ear off. Every time you hang out with someone, it does not have to be deep. You don't have to talk about the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You are going to get bored out of your mind. Another thing is we need to give it time. We don't get out of being lonely overnight. It takes time, and don't, once again, take my advice with a grain of salt. I still feel lonely. When I see some of my friends post a picture of them all hanging out together, I'm like, oh, dang. That just made me feel really lonely. I kind of wish they invited me, or I wish they told me, or said something to where I felt a little included, but instead it made me lonely. Like I said in my last video, in my last episode, you need to find that quality time within yourself. You do not have to accept the fact of being lonely just because you're alone. And I will stand by that every single day of my life. I think that COVID messed us up really But we're not broken. We're just out of practice. And the good news with practice is something that you can start at any time, even today. That's where I'm going to end off this episode. I hope y'all enjoyed my ranting and yapping and my spill of how COVID changed us, but how we can actually grow from it. Love y'all. See y'all next week.